Hey guys, if you hear the rain outside, well, sorry, can't help it. I live in Seattle now. Rain city and all, you know. Today's video is gonna be kind of relaxed, sort of like my older videos. I have my notes on my little phone. Yes, I got a new iPhone case, not just Hello Kitty, but Performance Black Kitty. My diploma actually arrived in the mail, so I am actually a mistress in flute performance, because you know, that is the only thing I know how to do properly. I studied with Linda Lucas, the second flutist of the San Francisco Symphony, and yes, I got my degree at the San Francisco State University. That was a bit of a mouthful. I have noticed that a couple of you are actually in your masters, or you are thinking about going into your masters. A lot of times people tend to think that going into a masters is just a lot of practicing and a lot of performing, but I kind of see that as something that's granted. So I don't think we really need to talk about that. We're going to talk about more the broader points of how to get through a degree. Let's get right into it. First really important thing to do, make sure you go to the school's website. Usually they post what's called a bulletin. The bulletin basically tells you what are all of your required courses, how many units they are. I actually mapped out my degree for 3 semesters. Yes, I did my degree in 3 semesters, otherwise nicknamed the suicide route. You want to list out the name of the course, how many units it is, how many units total that you have for that first semester, second semester, third semester, fourth semester. I mentioned very briefly that I had actually arranged my degree so that I would finish all of my academic courses. That is, courses that require you to write papers and stuff like that and give presentations in the first 2 semesters. And the 3rd semester, which was my final semester, I only had my performance courses plus my recital plus my oral defense. What I wanted to do was to be able to concentrate on my recital and oral defense without having to split my mind with having to do papers and presentations for other courses. If you don't do this, what you might end up doing is scheduling too many courses in one semester and not enough in another one. Or what happens is that sometimes you also have to accommodate for classes being canceled. If a class that you need is canceled, you need to budget enough time, enough semesters for you to be able to make it up in the next semester. Another kind of nice perk that happens when you are this organized is that you kind of become your own advisor, and when you go into your advisor at school, what they're doing is they're just looking over your plan. Most of my meetings with my graduate advisor were actually probably only like 5 to 10 minutes because he literally was just looking at what I had planned out and saying yay or nay. It's just easier on everyone, saves everyone a lot of time and a lot of frustration. This way also, they're basically not just telling you the basics anymore. They're sort of telling you more details about what you need to look out for, what forms you need to fill out, etc., etc. This segues very nicely into my second point. You need to make sure that you know when the deadlines are for what specific forms you need to be turned in. In SF State, the Advancement to Candidacy form, the ATC form, actually has to be turned in the semester before the semester that you graduate. If you didn't know that you had to turn it in your second to last semester, you just kind of like, oh, la just kind of doing my thing, you're gonna get screwed and you have to basically take another semester in order to actually graduate. There should be a page on your school's website that lists out all the forms that you need to be turned in. These forms are not just turned into the music school, but they're also turned into the graduate department of the entire university. This also segues nicely into my third point, which is about scheduling. I sort of had a goal in mind where I wanted September to be scheduling, end of October or very beginning of November to do my oral defense, and then I knew I wanted my recital to be in the later part of November, and then I was going to be moving in December. Why does it take so long to schedule though? You have to actually create your own committee for both a recital and an oral defense. Every school kind of has a slightly different take on how many committee members need to be actually tenured faculty. Go and find out the requirements. If you have ever tried to schedule even a meetup with your own friends and have found it to be very difficult, same thing applies to finding your committee. Each school has a slightly different way of doing that. Some schools you have to fill out a form for it. Some schools you just kind of make your own committee and then you kind of go in and tell the front desk. You need to go and find out what are the procedures for your school. On top of getting these committees together and scheduling. My parents were flying down from Vancouver for my recital. Now there's also booking air tickets. Expensive thing, and you don't want to, you know, end up the date not really working and then their air tickets go to waste. It's very messy, you don't want to do that. That is why it took about 1 whole month to really get the scheduling down. You have to over budget time to schedule. Trust me, you need it. If anything, it's just to manage your stress levels. Nowadays, very popular to email professors. I have a few tricks for you guys to be very effective with your emails. Number 1, make sure that the subject of your email names your question. You want your professor to go down their inbox and be able to see your question in the subject heading, and they'll just click it and reply. Number 2, each email that you send should only have one question and only address that one issue. Professors are very busy people. You can't expect them to read every last detail of your email, okay? One thing at a time, folks. Number 3, send the email in the morning. If you send it at night, your email is probably going to be buried amongst everyone else's emails, because everyone sends their emails at night, especially students. That doesn't mean you can't make a draft in the evening, then roll out of bed and send it. Or of course, you could just send it on your phone, which is really easy as well. Usually 8 in the morning is sort of the golden time. I can almost guarantee you that they will definitely see your email and not overlook it. Now, talking about professors themselves, please never look at professors as marking robots, grading robots, robots of some weird alien intelligence. Sorry to burst your bubble, but professors are normal people. They are just like you and me. They have feelings, they have personalities, okay? Some professors are more extroverted than others. Some professors are more introverted than others. You are just going to have to figure out what kind of personality your professor is and relate to them according to how comfortable it feels for them. That way, they can help you better. Just think about it. If someone made you uncomfortable, would you want to go and help them? Not really. For example, you may have some professors who you have to ask them a question during their office hours and that's it. Those people tend to be people who like to mentally prepare themselves to be asked a question and then they will answer it really nicely. You may notice that those same exact professors, if you ask a last minute question, they'll either not answer you or they will send you a very terse email. Don't be afraid to go in person to see your professor as well. Sometimes the tone of voice can be misread over email. You really want to get your professors to get to know you as well. This is also very beneficial if you are thinking about getting these professors on to your committees, because you really want them to get to know you as a person and not just, you know, like a student number. Now, I know we live in the internet age. We just want to stay at home behind our little screen. Get out of your little shell, go out and see your professors, talk to them, get to know them, have them get to know you. This doesn't take forever and it doesn't take anything extravagant. You don't have to take your professors out to coffee and stuff like that. That might make them think you're a little weird and fake. All you have to do is have like 1 or 2 questions prepared that you do want to ask them and go into their office hours or whenever you know that they're in their office. A few minutes here and a few minutes there really makes a difference in terms of building this professor-student relationship. I believe we've covered everything I have written down here. So that is it for now. If you guys have more questions or want me to do a part 2 addressing other issues in terms of surviving a degree, put your questions down in the comments below. I have a couple of announcements. Just a heads up for you band teachers out there. Curious.com just picked me up to be one of their tutorial makers. I am moving my tutorials to Curious.com. Why, you ask? I kind of want this channel to be for musicians in general. It's starting to get a little bit strange to kind of put like a random, like really specific tutorial that only flutists really need. Curious.com is a platform that combines iTunes and YouTube together. You can actually buy my tutorials for like $1 or $2. The nice thing about that platform is that I can start to create little like albums or what they call courses that are much more streamlined. You can go check out my vibrato video that is now on curious.com just to see how it's gonna go. It's pretty awesome. Like halfway through there's little section breaks. I get to ask you guys questions, sort of like multiple choice or true false, just to make sure that you guys are paying attention. Not that I'm doubting that you're paying attention. There's a lot more interaction. You just learn a lot better that way. Don't worry, not everything is going to cost $1 or $2 because I know you cheap little things out there. All you have to do is make a little curious.com profile type thing. Then you can go and check out my videos when I do post them. Another announcement, I made performance videos. I'll put little annotations here so you guys can go check it out. This one here is a piece that Aiden actually composed, Espionage in Sao Paulo, oh yeah. And then this piece here is the Ian Clark Maya. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, add it to your favorites, share it with your friends, and subscribe up there to catch my new videos coming out. There's all my little social media down there. That is it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! I was actually planning on making this video a long time ago, back in January. That was when I was just starting to settle down here in Seattle. Kinda got really busy with settling down. I just, you know, didn't have time to make this video until now. Has nothing to do with procrastinating. No, I like to joke that I'm so good at procrastinating that now I make material for people to procrastinate with because, hey, this is YouTube, right?